Yes, that's not the cannon he was looking for, but the good news is he's still got a red to left
27.
middle. He would have played to miss that red and try and finish behind it to the right corner. Well, the reason, as Dave said, they walked out because the match was still going. That was on
28.
lines against Josh Cooper. That's now concluded. Lines has won. So there's not a huge delay to the table. You can see on the far left.
That was actually from the qualifying. Ollie was in the semis of the British Open and there was an overlap. So he's actually got to play Ricky Walden tomorrow to sort of catch up and get into this round, which is the last 64. Ishpreet Singh Chadha has come through 2 qualifiers himself. He's beaten Florian Nursler and Ashley Carty, but already watching on here as Trump does his stuff.
Referee Alex Crusan, I don't think the pink ball will spot, so he's putting it in the little gap below its spot. It's the only place it will go down the line of the spots down the centre of the table.
Thank you.
It's a pretty
34.
efficient job done by Alex there. He looks
35.
to be queuing okay. I mean, just occasionally recently the odd match he's thrown in not a brilliant performance, sometimes still won matches, but in half a frame it's so far so good. Been unlucky that the break has come to an end there.
42.
Quite hard to generate a lot of pace from that shot to get into the bunch and really open them.
Well, the only good news is a red has gone safe on the cushion. So he's 45 in front.
Judd Trump, 42.
Yeah, it was great to see such a big crowd here this morning. Of course, Jordan Brown was on from Antrim. Unfortunately, he didn't get through, but he had a lot of support. Yeah, it's a good game. Robert Milkins beating 4-2. Mark Allen is due up tomorrow.
Now, what's he found here? He's looking at some kind of a plant to the left corner, I think. Certainly looking at getting the cue ball to safety either way. I think he hoped that it would just squeeze off the third red, but it didn't touch the other ball. It wasn't really a natural shot to nothing from Trump playing that red. Half a chance, this. Yeah, it's not simple because of cueing from the side cushion and rolling it in.
Trump was outplayed, wasn't he, by Sijol Wuhan. I think you can accept that when someone plays that well. In general, he's had a very successful campaign already. That world #1 sort of race is settled for quite a time, I would suggest. Of course, he's won in Shanghai, not a ranked event, but big tournament, won in Saudi, runner-up in the Xi'an Grand Prix.
It's happened to him a couple of times this season, though, isn't it? Because not only the Sijoe match, but he lost to Ruyiza in the English, and he could have lost to him in Saudi, 4-0 deficit at one point. So he's feeling the pinch a little bit in some matches with the younger generation of players coming through.
6. Seven.
You mentioned the best of 7 record, which, as you say, is excellent. I think one of the reasons is he treats all these tournaments with... I don't think he sort of ranks them as such. He just sees a trophy and wants to win it. Rounding as a junior, he would have played so many, obviously, junior events over short distances. Got to beat him, that's the bottom line. And C. Joel Weed did so brilliantly.
13.
Yeah, I think it's very easy for players to say they're going to rest up and pick and choose. Yes, some players do it, but others, it's almost fear of missing out, really, isn't it? You'd be maybe watching this event from home.
18.
If you're not playing in it. Doesn't really want any part of that. He's close to getting the frame one here anyway. He's taken that well, and that red just about clinches it.
19.
Yeah, this is, I think, the challenge for Chadha. Obviously, coming into this event, he's on the main table from the off against a top player. At least in Brentwood, he had a few rounds on the outside tables to ease himself in. He had some great wins there. He beat Graham Dott, Jack Jones.
Please like and subscribe the video.
And obviously Mark Selby. But by the time he played Selby, he was nicely played in at the venue. This is a bit of a baptism of fire, you've got to say, against Trump.
Any improvement, please do tell me in the comment. Thank you.
26. 27. 34. 35.
Just played the one shot to nothing safety, which did leave an opportunity. Otherwise, it's a pretty good frame he started with here, Trump.
42. 43.
Yeah, great memories for him coming back to the waterfront. Of course, in 3 finals in a row, he beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. One was actually played in Milton Keynes because of the lockdown.
50.
But even so, 3 times in a row, he beat him 9-7 in each final.
51.
Might see a few shots here.
It's a nice way of playing on the yellow, isn't it?
58.
Because usually the green would be in the pathway of that shot, but it was very subtle. Excellent positional shot, that one.
60.
Pretty good form. Very early
63.
in the match, but so often a player might not start very well. He looks good.
67.
Ishpreet has certainly got a match on his hands, which I guess he already knew. But even more so, perhaps, on what we're seeing.
72.
Just one frame, I guess there was a chance. Chances will come his way.
Yeah. So we've got 3 tables, and on table 2, it's an interesting one. Jack Jones has been a little quiet, hasn't he, since getting to the World Final in the spring, but here he is, looking good to win this opening frame against Alexander Ursenbacher from Switzerland. Yeah, Jack Jones, of course, that incredible run at the Crucible, and put Wilson under pressure, Karen Wilson under pressure in that final session. Right now he's 15 in the world, so he's trying to bed down his top 16 seeding for the UK Championship and then for the Masters. to make sure he's in York and at Alexandra Palace.
Interesting matchup, isn't it, these two? Because there's similarity in their styles, their techniques more so. And Ersenbacher, well, he's been something of a disappointment, really. Underachiever. He's got all those wins against O'Sullivan to his name. But Jack Jones, I don't think he's got more ability than Ersenbacher, but he's got something in the way of mental strength and fortitude. Maybe the reason that he's got to the heights he has, but you would have thought that Ersenbacher would be capable of achieving good things in the game too. Certainly this frame is long gone.
I think what he did both years at the Crucible, because of course he got to the quarters last year as well, was he found a way to neutralise opponents. They struggled to play their best snooker against him. Trump certainly did. He was pretty poor against him. Neil Robertson last year. Si Jiahui actually in round 2 this year just struggled to produce the goods. So Jack Jones got to try and bring that now to the other tournaments as well.
I think he's a player that likes the longer matches. I know that you wouldn't maybe see that as like a marathon race against a sprint, but there's something about the longer matches that certain players like, and he's one of those players, as is underlined by his performances at the Crucible.
So 88, not a century, but a frame-winning break. Good start for the World Championship runner-up.
Everyone who is watching the video, it's a humble request. Please like and subscribe the video. Subscribe the channel as well. Do leave a comment.
So Judd Trump
if
1-0
you
up
want
already
to
here.
change anything.
In the last
you.
64
Second
of the
frame.
Northern Ireland Open.
Ishpreet Singh Chadha to break.
Please do tell me in the comment.
Front Hall, of course, a great
Thank you.
concert venue here in the centre of Belfast. Very much established as the home of the Northern Ireland Open. First year we were at the Titanic Centre, but this is a formidable venue. Judd Trump was saying, you know, it reminds me of the Masters. That's quite a compliment.
Maybe some movement there, catching Judd's eye. Perhaps the players emerging on the other table for the afternoon session. It was just slightly curtailed or delayed on that table. It's a nice kiss.
One.
That is a very on the red. There you see players just over on that far table. So this is a very good early opportunity.
Eight. Nine.
Well, he's got the shot to plough into the bunch if he wants to go down that route. He's choosing not to.
16. Seventeen.
Might be a red that goes to the right corner. Top of the bunch. Yeah, that's what he's played on, rather than, again, not thinking that it was the best angle to open the reds.
24.
There's the one, right through the gap.
25.
He's taking a few reds and blacks here.
32.
Could be the shot is to play up on the blue, or will he try and stay on the blacks for a bit longer? Right shot is to play up the table. I think that's what he's doing.
33.
deserves to be on one. He played it quite nicely.
38.
Cue ball really did travel with speed into the bunch. And he might be on one. That's very good stuff. With a lovely red. Cushions
39.
like that.
Yes, a bit of early concern for Ishpreet Singh Chadha. Problem with best of sevens and not a lot of time to settle. And of course you can't settle if you're just sat watching.
41.
There's a couple of reds that might
42.
be a plant to that right corner as well. We just got a glimpse of. They're all lined up though, aren't they? Whichever way you look at it, it's a wonderful chance now. All these
49.
reds pop to right corner.
$50. $57. $58.
So, his hope is that this break comes to an end a bit sharpish, and he has pushed a red in the way of another red, so it's not quite as straightforward now as it might have looked 3 or 4 shots ago. Yeah, it's slightly, maybe even more than slightly gone wrong. That came as a surprise that the frame was not clinched at this visit.
Everyone who is watching the video,
red is
it's a
closest
humble request.
to below
Please like and
corner.
subscribe the video.
It might be a
Subscribe
shot, but
the
you'd have to
channel
get all
as well.
kinds of equipment out
Do
to reach
leave
it.
a comment
So I don't
if
even
you
think
want
you
to
can.
change
I
anything.
think
if
it's
you
one of those
want
rare
any
occasions where you just couldn't
improvement.
access that red.
Please do tell me in the comment. Thank you.
Judd Trump, 65.
Just a glimmer of hope in this frame for Ishpreet, which didn't seem there. Yeah, it was only slight worry. He doesn't want to put a colour safe. The black's not gone safe, thankfully, and that's not the worst little nudge on the yellow. So, now if a chance were to come Ishpreet's way from here, the frame could be snatched by him. Yes, he's had no table time, but he knows that this frame's not quite done. Contact made. He's got no table time, Ishpreet, and that would be a big concern. This is a nice attempt. Get through to red, but even then, even that shot just tells you that Ishpreet Singh Chadha does know his way around the table, plays good shots. But that's an even better one from Trump. In a bit of trouble here because he's got a red that he could pot, but even then it's a difficult pot and the cue ball just goes into the black. You don't know where it's going to finish. Might have to try the pot it though. Might be his only way. Well, I understand what he was hoping for. He was trying his best to make something of this frame, but now he's left another chance. I don't think he's done a lot wrong so far, but he's being kept away from the table.
1.
Yeah, I think we've seen there the other about 25 minutes playing time.
15. 16. 21. Touching ball.
Everyone who is watching the video, it's a humble request. Please like
Well,
and subscribe.
if
the
that had come
video,
off, you could have given him the
subscribe
trophy, I think,
channel
right
as
now.
well.
Judd Trump,
Do
21.
leave a
Ishpreet Singh
comment
Chadha is going to come and
if you
play a few
want to
shots, and
change
that's not a bad
anything,
thing
if you
because he's
want
had very little
any
table time, as we
improvement.
saw, so he can
Please do
just
tell
get his
me
hand
in
on the table
comment.
here.
Thank you.
Trump was trying something very extravagant there.
Yeah, I think he's right to carry on because there are these people that seem to say that you know, when the frame is with snookers required, it's end of frame. But having gone 25 minutes without potting a ball, I think he deserves to knock a few in. It's almost like an extended practice session. Frame's long gone.
Yeah, I mean,
9.
it's different, isn't it, on the main table, obviously, with the lighting, the camera guys around the table, and just, you know, you're centre of attention as well. And he hasn't had that much experience of that. The semi-final in Brentwood, he did freeze a bit. There's no shame in that at all. It was a massive occasion for him.
16.
Wooyers are beating 6-0. But he's taken a big step towards staying on tour at the end of the season, which, of course, has got to be one of his main aims. Probably is his main aim for the rest of the campaign.
17.
There's his mother very proudly watching on. Of course, we saw her in Brentwood. These home nations we've seen over the years, they can throw up, you know, some surprises in
22.
terms of players going deep, reaching finals, reaching semi-finals.
Ishpreet Singh Chadha,
Played a
22.
few
Frame
shots,
considered frame.
but
Judd
it is
Trump.
Judd Trump's frame. He's looked very good so far, Trump. And inside half an hour, he leads 2-0. Yeah, as I say, Trump's been looked impressive. He seems to start these matches so well, and he's just ready for the start of play and to start producing it from the off.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. You know, he's so dangerous. He's a bit of a one-off Trump, isn't he? I mean, as a player, there are other leading players, but I don't think any of them play the game in the way that does. You know, he's got an all-round game. He plays clever shots, but also he's got this range of pots that he can knock in towards the end of a frame. But, you know, he is a complete match player now, but I don't think any other players I can think of do it in quite the same way. Controlled aggression now has been his strength. He's very good. I thought he was going to get in and make quite a few here, but he didn't go on and quite clinch the frame from this chance. He's just made it off the left jaw. So he hasn't given his opponent much to aim at in these couple of frames. Ishpreet has just disappeared for a toilet break, but he's not played much of a part in so far this encounter.
No, I mean, the stats obviously all favouring Trump right now, because he got in right at the start of the first frame, Chadha, but couldn't do much. Trump at 95%, very impressive, made very few errors so far. His safety's been very good as well. I mean, well, 100%, I guess, speaks for itself. Made that 72 break in frame one, so far so good for him. And this next frame, a big one, clearly. If he wins that as well, then it just seems very unlikely that his opponent's going to turn it round. So if Chadha is going to make an impact on the match, surely it's got to start in this next frame. Just to say, on table two, Jack Jones going well. 2-0 up against Alex Ursenbacher. So fast start for him. Of course, Matt Selt and Lou Haishan, they start a little later because they have to wait for the table to become free. So they're still in frame one. All live, of course, on Discovery Plus. Judd Trump, Singh Chadha 0. The first match of the afternoon session on day one of the Northern Ireland Open. Of course, this is an 8-day event. There's 3 tables as opposed to 4. Great tournament to have a ticket. See so many big names. We've got the likes of Luca Brissell, Mark Selby, Sean Murphy, Stuart Bingham, all to come here today. Tomorrow, scheduled to see the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Allen as well. All the big hitters, Kyron Wilson, John Higgins in due course. And the players seem to enjoy coming here as well. It's a venue that you bad word about, actually.
No, very much so. I did actually make a prediction, Dave, at the end of the last frame, that when Ishpreet popped out of the arena, be a while getting him back in, because it is an absolute maze of doors and corridors and all sorts backstage at the waterfront, and you can get lost. And I'm not suggesting he has, but he's still not back from quite a long break, so hopefully he'll come back safely.
Yeah,
and resume.
Well, you're right. I mean, if you don't know the venue, then it can take a bit of getting used to exactly where you're going. But when he does come back, it's a big
watching the video.
frame 3 for him.
It's a humble request.
Well,
Please
get
like
in,
and subscribe the video.
start to make a
Subscribe the
break or
channel
two.
as
There's still a
well.
chance to turn this
Do
round. If you're
leave a
feeling good, I'm
comment
sure he's been looking
if
forward
you
to this
want
match.
to
It's
change
quite an
anything, if you want any
easy feat to come
improvement,
through those qualifiers. He
please
won
do
2
tell
matches
me
to
in
do
the
so.
comment.
But now he's up
Thank
against
you.
this man.
Yeah, you're sort of thrust into the spotlight, aren't you, playing Judd? Because he's always going to be either on the main table or very prominently. Although it's a different setup here with 3 tables. I don't think it's particularly as much of an advantage. As you can see, those 3 tables all in the one arena. Lots of people looking at all of the matches, including that far table where Matt Selt is playing currently. They're in the first frame with Lou Haishan. It would be a difficult one to call those two, but maybe at the waterfront it isn't such a huge difference playing on the main table as it would be other venues.
Well, whoever wins this match between Lou Haishan and Matt Selt will play the winner of the Trump match. Thankfully, Ishpreet's made his way back, so we're ready for frame 3.
Just come to break.
So Judd Trump 2-0 up. Remember, every event this year, this calendar year, he's reached the quarterfinals. 14 tournaments, 14 quarterfinals. Can he carry his bat through the year and get to at least that stage? Of course, he's gone further in quite a few of those. It would be a remarkable run of consistency.
One.
Yeah, really good pot. Cue ball a little close to the side cushion. And the red didn't go in cleanly, but it was still a very difficult shot to play and get. And this pot this with enough pace to get away from the right cushion, back for a red. Now, it's a bit of a shame. I don't think he's on anything. Very difficult plant, this one, which he might be looking to get anyway.
So just half an hour playing time. As I say, this frame I think really is a big one for Chadha. He goes 3-0 down. It's going to be very, very hard to turn that round. He made a lot of friends in Brentwood, though. He talks really well, doesn't he? Very positively about snooker. Made the decision to come over here. Not easy to do, but he's enjoying himself now. He won't enjoy that shot, though. That has gone wrong.
One.
Well, off the brown, it is a natural to play one cushion into the reds. Deciding to play on the loose one. And if you could just get on that red by the black, and is he on that?
5.
Well, that is, if he's on it, that's a sensational positional shot. That is an incredible shot from Brown.
6.
There was barely any margin for error to get on that red, and it was a key red. May not got any applause, but that was a wonderful wonderful positional shot.
Well, it's one of those, isn't it? They, you know, when they say you pick it up
13.
and place it by hand, he couldn't have put it anywhere better. And so what a chance he's given himself, because the other big colours were not in good positions.
14.
Well, there must have been the temptation to just play the brown at pace and hopefully move balls and just find a way of blasting the reds
Everyone
open.
who is
But
watching the
he
video,
played a much more
it's a
subtle
humble
shot than that
request.
in the end.
Please like and subscribe the video. Subscribe the channel as well. Do leave a comment if you want to change anything, if you want any improvement. Please do tell me in the comment. Thank you.
Well, this is the shot he played. I can tell you
21.
that is the most delightful positional shot you'll see. To play on that red, there's hardly any room, and he was just on it. It's incredible. Great vision.
Twenty-two. $29. 30.
Oh, yeah, we played a little delicate cannon here. That's what he did try, I think, although he always had the top red anyway, but I'm sure he played to can the right-hand red. Finish on the bottom red in
37.
the bunch.
$38.
Well, he's
41.
reminding everyone, if they'd somehow forgotten, why Judd Trump is the world #1 here, isn't he? He's playing. It's not a barrage of huge breaks or anything hugely
42.
spectacular, but it's very efficient match play.
Bravo.
Sell even watching it rather than his own table. It's time to get the reds open. So he's playing all the shots, using restraint when he needs to, and
46.
all-out attack when also it's required. Black goes to the opposite corner, so what a chance to get a 3-0 lead.
47.
From a position where it didn't seem that there was that many on.
Yeah, we said it was a big frame for that man, but again,
54.
he's been watching on in the main, and Judd Trump, great chance for 3-0, and
55.
then he's a massive, massive favourite to progress without really breaking sweat this afternoon.
Might try and cannon the second red from the left. Yeah. That was the red, and he got the cannon, but it didn't quite
62.
go as he meant to, despite still being on one. Just needs a colour.
63.
It's pretty much an overwhelming scoreline, isn't it? It's exactly what Judd Trump deserves.
It wasn't absolutely clean, was
70.
it? But he's gone in, and he's surely 3-0 up. It all started really with that
71.
initial shot from the brown to get on that red. There was no margin for error.
Funny game, isn't it? Sometimes you look at all these shots that are spectacular, sort of shot of the tournament reel, and that wouldn't appear on it, but it was a very subtle
78.
shot.
Well, a chance now to add to his centuries tally. 27 this season already.
79.
He's top of that list, 4 in front of the next two, Shaw Murphy and Mark Selby. There is a prize if anyone can get to 100 in the season. That will be difficult. I was looking back when Trump did it. He made about 60 by Christmas. So 27, obviously, tournaments to come.
86.
But he's going to have to go some. But as long as he's still in these tournaments, he can still do it, obviously.
Well, if he gets to 100, Dave, you can have some
87.
sort of a season for him. Going to be playing in a lot of events. Probably a big run at the World Championships, which he's probably due to do again. For now, here in Belfast, he is dominant.
No, he's looking very good, and if anything, getting better now with each frame. Well, he did say like the venue, didn't he, in the interview at the start, and you can
95.
see why. Those special memories for him.
Everyone who is watching the video, it's a humble request.
So this yellow,
Please like and subscribe the video.
for Judd
Subscribe
Trump's
the
first
channel
century
as
of
well.
the
Do leave
2024
a
Northern Ireland
comment.
Open.
98.
If you want to change anything, if you want any improvement, please do tell me in the comment. Thank you.
1008 for his career. Got to the 1,000 mark in Cheltenham at the British Open.
103. 107.
Right-handed. Bull is the blue in. What's he going to be with the pink? Some sort of double? You're sort of frightened if you're a pocket, aren't you, when he sort of gets to this stage in the frame. It was a great break. Underscored by that additional shot right at the start. Judd Trump, thoroughly dominant, one away from victory, leading 3-0. So, 3-0 here, and quite a rapid affair over on table 2 as well. It's 2-0 to Jack Jones, and he's in front in the next, as you can see here, by 28 points. He's leading... Sorry, he's had breaks of 88 and 84, just as he misses that as we pick it up. But, yeah, good start. He's playing Alex Ursenbacher, who's a very talented player. He's got a great record against Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he's a bit erratic as well. Never quite sure what you're going to get from him. But obviously he's come through the qualifiers to get here, so he's dangerous, for sure.
Well, he's a bit of the new Mark Johnson-Allen, isn't he? An old friend of ours who had this wonderful record against Stephen Hendry, but not necessarily went very high up the rankings. You might have to have been following the game for a while to know who I'm speaking about and what the connection is.
Yeah, 3-0 against Hendry. And he had a good record against some of the others as well, Mark. Anyway, that's table 2. And we saw Matt Selt looking on. He was actually between frames. He'd won the first against Liu Haqian. The winner there will play looking like Trump. Certainly the winner of our match on table 1. Good that all these players have got here through the sort of inclement weather. But as I say, and snooker players, let's be honest, if they don't like something, they'll tell you. But you don't hear a bad word about this tournament. It's a very popular venue. Neil Robertson was tweeting this morning about loving being back in Belfast. Got a lot of history and so much support as well. Obviously, we go back to the days of Alex Higgins, Dennis Taylor, and now Mark Allen. So a lot of support for these guys, and I'm sure that will continue right through to the final a week today. Remember, all 3 tables available live across the week on Discovery Plus. These are the match stats so far. And even that highest break of 22, that came in that second frame, yeah, when he played on. Just when he needed snookers just to get some table time. So really in live play, Ishpreet Singh Chadha yet really to make an impact. Well, let's see if Ishpreet Singh Chadha can at least avert the whitewash here. Judd Trump looking very, very good. He's just had a century, 112. He's had breaks of 72 and 65 before that. 3-0.
That's a good pot. That cube was just drifting a little too far for Judd Trump's liking. Would have been a choice of bulk colours had he stopped about the ball's width short of where it is. Now a tricky little cut back on the brown ball. It's not bad. Again, there's a red to the left of the black, which might have been troublesome. But it looks as if he can move it.
6.
Well, I mean, this is a very one-sided match against a decent player. I think the key has been that Judd has got in first almost every frame. Very briefly, Ishpreet put it red and the black in the last, but
13.
The bulk of the chances early have gone to the world number 1.
14.
Yes, I mean, this is what you call hitting the ground running.
Everyone
Sometimes
who
he
is
says
watching
himself,
the video,
sometimes early
it's
on,
a humble
struggles
request.
a bit, and as you mentioned,
Please
could easily
like
have
and
lost him round
subscribe the
round
video.
1 or 2 losers,
Subscribe
but
the channel as well.
no sign of that
Do
here.
leave a comment if you want to
That is a
change
terrific
anything,
shot.
if you want
It really
any
is, because he
improvement.
forced
Please
that
do
cue
tell
ball,
me in
almost
the
muscled
comment.
it through the bunch.
Thank you.
He knew there was that red by the black available. Very much
22.
Judd Trump shot that previous one. He generates such a lot of cue speed. Gets a lot of spin on the ball. This is the shot. I mean, the cue ball has absolutely fizzed back through the bunch.
Thirty.
Yeah, I mean, there were two venues I can think of right now which have this appeal. One is here in Belfast, the waterfront, where we're up this week, and also the Tempodrom in Berlin is another venue. It's very popular with the players and spectators. The clue is that the tournament is there every year, not chopping and changing different venues.
36.
And I think it really helps an event. Players and fans grow to love them.
Defending champion in Berlin is Judd Trump. Another venue he enjoys.
$41.
That's not bad.
42.
Again, he was just playing up the table. I don't know if he knew he'd be on the pink to right middle. And for once, not a good shot. You could see that cue ball was heading to the bottom of those two reds. So it might not be match over here. Slight misjudgment on that positional shot. Doesn't have to keep the break going, but he would certainly be itching to do so.
Thank you. 48.
Well, he's got Ishpreet sitting in that chair, and he doesn't want to take on too many here, Trump.
Everyone who is watching the video, it's a humble request. Please like and subscribe the video. Subscribe the channel as well. Do leave a comment if
So
you
he
want to
did
change anything.
Take a
if
risk,
you
but
want
it was
any
a calculated
improvement.
one. He could
Please
only
do tell
really
me
stuck
in
the
the
red
comment.
in which
Thank
he
you.
was playing.
It's 3-0 to Jack Jones on table 2 against Alexander Usymbaka. Jack Jones trying to seal his sort of top 16 seeding for the UK Championship and indeed the Masters. Been huge, of course, to get in the Masters for the first time for Jack, runner-up at the Crucible. 1-0 Matt Selt on table 3 against Liu Hai-Chan. We've got Luca Brissell to come on this table. Wins, of course, and he's up against He Guo Chang, who's, as we know, is very dangerous. Ryan Day against Stan Moody will be table 2. Dave Gilbert, Lei Pei Fan, table 3.
It was close, wasn't it? But he was stretching, and oh goodness, it could be end of match. And if he were to lose the match now from this next visit from Trump, it'd be very one-sided. Usually you get better chances in a match than Ishpreet Singh Chadha has had.
One.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the wide angle, but he still, as a left-hander,
6.
able to reach across and take this red on. Well, that black that Judd has just knocked in reminds me very much of one that John Higgins missed in the final against Mark Allen here.
14.
A point where he was 2 up with 3 to play. Didn't get the match won. Allen won it, but he missed a black very similar to that, Higgins. So on the brink of a very convincing victory.
Ground ball.
Yes, it has been convincing. 48 minutes and whatever's left. This is match ball. Ishpreet Singh. It was kind of into the lion's den here in Belfast against a man who's won 4 Northern Ireland Open titles and clearly is in the mood for a 5th. Judd Trump in every department today has been very impressive. It's a city that likes its showman. Alex Higgins, of course, the trophy's named after him. We've got Jimmy White playing tomorrow. And Judd Trump, he's certainly in that lineage as an entertainer, but also as a seriously impressive champion. He's had Ishpreet in all sorts of trouble. His mother's there looking on, but they had very little really straightforward to go at.
33.
Yes, he looked pretty sharp all the way through. You know, it's not been a barrage of huge breaks. He did make the 1 century, but it's just been very good all-round play. Sometimes with Trump, the cue ball does go the long way round, and it's happened again here.
41.
You know, he hasn't always had the most immaculate cue ball control, and that's kind of the way that Judd Trump plays. And Ishpreet really has been a spectator for the most part.
Success 96%, safety rating.
48.
The two together have been pretty formidable. That one
48
stays
frames
out, but all the damage has been done. So in just under 50 minutes, Judd Trump